What's good, beautiful people? Cutting to the chase, it looks like blackface controversy in the Philippines is back again. I repeat, blackface controversy is once again back in the Philippines. As you can see, Not Again TV show, which is called MMK. That's what I'm going to call it, but that's what it means. You read the top. Slam for blackface in upcoming episode. Let's go ahead and read this article real quick. So the young lady that you see in the brown shirt, her name is Mai-ish, something like that. And if you look at her in real life, of course, she is not this dark, okay? So again, there's controversy around it. Let's see what it says. It says, this is really not a good look. Fresh from backlash from fat shaming episode, long-running Filipina drama, MMK, once again stoked anger of woke netizens who are calling them out for their use of blackface. All right, so the young lady named Mai anyways, I forgot about her last name. She tweeted pictures of herself in her wig and costume and putting on blackface and stuff like that. And people started commenting. You know, she posted her selfies. As you can see here, people were making comments. I'm going to get to the comments. I think that's what I'm talking about. Okay, so somebody commented, this is blackface appropriating the local Ada or Ayeda, sorry for the pronunciation issues, community. Local artists, especially as role models to young and impressionable fans, should know better. Basically, the person was saying, you know better than to put on blackface, you know better than to disrespect the people. And I guess the bigger issue was, why not choose somebody who resembles the complexion as opposed to getting a light or white-skinned Philippine artist to put on paint to make themselves look this way. That was pretty much the issue in reference to this particular video. MMK has always been problematic in casting roles, but it's more saddening when artists don't say no to these roles. They were basically upset because the young lady could have said no to painting her face black, but basically, hell, if you in the business to make money, you got to get paid. You're probably going to say yes more than you're going to say no. All right, so moving on, it says, at so-and-so was shocked to find out that some people are actually defending the show and its actors. OMG, the MMK thing with the non-Ayedas doing blackface, people are actually defending that. We aren't saying your faves suck. Oh my God, we're just saying they shouldn't accept roles that aren't meant for them. Get actors who are actually Ayeda or Ada. Fuck, don't kill me for saying it. But again, like I said, these are people that have their own comments and concerns. I'll give my own personal opinion on it later. Let's see. Everything else seems to be on the up and up. Somebody says, actually cast Ayeda people, actors and stuff like that, because it seems like everybody in there was painting their face black. In actuality, guys, if you really want to know my opinion on the entire situation, I think that's all that's left. If you work in a TV production, you'll know you can't just simply do that. A lot of things you need to take into consideration, like the acting background. I do think the actors being colored like that is a thing. It's just to represent them in the best way they can. So I guess, are you telling me that you can't find artists that are of that particular skin complexion that could actually fulfill the role, as opposed to getting somebody who is a known name, which I do believe is a bigger issue here if we're talking about it in hindsight? They're choosing artists with bigger names to attract more viewers to the show, even if that means attracting some negative, some negative response or backlash in the effect. Maybe if we're looking at it from hindsight, because I'm just going to tell you my personal opinion on it. If you guys want to read the article, you can please feel free. But if you really want to know my personal opinion on it, I do believe that there aren't as many. I'm not saying there aren't any. I'm just saying there are not as many famous tan-skinned how can I say this, artistas that can play this role. And I think MMK is going for broke when they decide to cast people that are known names or known household names. And I'm not saying that there aren't any. I'm just saying there aren't many. You know how this game goes, people. Let's not sugarcoat this shit. We already know that your average actor on TV in the Philippines is light, bright, and damn near white. You understand? And that's just the way it's going to be. It ain't nothing to be sad or ashamed about. It's just the way that the culture has basically presented itself over the last few years. And again, we could have this race conversation all the time. Just kind of found this to be interesting because at the end of the day, this is something that has been happening forever. This isn't new. This isn't something this isn't something that these people don't already know about. You understand? You just have to take it tongue in cheek, man. You got to just accept it for what it is. If they want to put their artist, an ABS-CBN artist, in blackface, they're going to do it regardless. You want to know why? Because they're going to say, My Entrada, whatever her name is, starring in MMK story titled this. You understand? They know that name. So people are going to watch it. Yeah, it's in blackface. So, I know what it means for the U.S. culture, and I know exactly where it stands from that particular background. Honestly, for a while, I didn't know that blackface in the Philippines was a thing, to be honest. When I first got there, it wasn't really a big deal. But after a while, I realized how people were perceiving this. Again, you understand that the Aida, don't get me twisted on those words, but the indigenous Filipinos were naturally of a darker skin complexion than they are now. And oftentimes when I get comments about people telling me to go back to my own country, I laugh it off and simply say, do you remember where you came from? Do you remember where your people came from? You're Filipino. First and foremost, do you remember how dark Filipinos used to be or how the indigenous Filipinos are? So before you go talking all this nonsense about my skin complexion, I kind of put them in their place and let them know, motherfucker, you were just as darker as me, if not darker. So don't fuck with me. I try to tell them that. But then again, you just never know. People ever takes things the way that they want to. But then again, like I said, just speaking my mind. Again, like I said, I personally, if you asked me truthfully, don't see a real issue with it. Again, Philippine TV production companies are going to do what they do. There was a TV show a long time ago called Nene Negrita, something like that. Chick was in blackface. If you thought this blackface was bad, Google the show. I think it was Nene or Nine Negrita. I think it was a GMA show a while back. Google that. That chick's face paint was literally black. This is just a darker, like a tan or a brown. I'm talking about the chick was like literally in black face paint. I think it was a couple of shades lighter than jet black or charcoal, if you want to be real. When I looked at it, and I kind of felt a certain kind of way about it then. But after a while, I just said, you know what, Mike, this isn't your country. These people are going to do as they please. If you're going to be offended, then why the fuck are you here? Again, you can't be mad at everything that goes on in a country that is not your own. You just accept it for what it is. Again, I've never been really offended by any of this shit. I know what it means culturally for my people, so I am not overlooking that fact. But ultimately, who am I to talk about this particular topic and get all angry and then incite a riot because, oh, you're using blackface and that's racist and this shit? I'm like, man, look, these people are still going to do what they're going to do. Understand that. They are still going to do whatever the hell they want to do. Because, again, they're dealing with the people that are watching the show. They know what artists they're going to get to do a role. No different than the show with Enrique Hill and Liza Sobrano that just recently went off, the whole mythical show. Don't remember the name of it because I never watched it. But, when they were fighting the gods and the ghouls and the goblins and all that shit, most of you guys know about that show. But that was a backlash for that show, too. And, the blackface, apparently, allegedly, that they used in that, it wasn't as bad as you think. But what they used in that show kind of had some backlash as well. So again, I reckon the show still did pretty well. It was on TV for a while. So again, as long as the shows are doing well, they're going to continue to stay on air and continue to run. So you can take it how you want to. Again, I feel how can I say this? I feel where you're coming from when you find yourself offended by certain things, having non-IATA, I don't know why I keep trying to say that word, people, put in blackface as opposed to getting people who represent that particular skin complexion. I could think of a couple of artists off the top of my head that could really fit the role very, very well. But then again, like I said, sometimes it does depend on availability of the artist too. Let's not get it twisted. I say 9 times out of 10, you're going to have a white skinned person on the show or a light white skinned person on any TV show. But then again, you have to realize that it does depend on the availability of certain artists to film. So maybe they just couldn't find somebody. And I guess that's just in defense of the people. But then again, can't really defend it because they could have shot this episode another day. It didn't have to be this time. They could have waited for somebody to become available to shoot this episode because MMK has been running since 1991. Shit. If you want to be honest, man, MMK is like that show from back in the heyday. And, you just have to take it the way that it is, people. Only thing that I could say about it. But let me know your comments down below. Let me know what you think. Personally, the whole blackface issue has become an issue. And I'm just now seeing it on a worldwide scale. Like, I mean, people are really starting to say, you know what, that's wrong. Back in the day, now I'm not talking, I mean, back in the day when I was in the Philippines, there were very few people, very few, if any, that came out about this particular topic, that came out about, oh, I feel like this is wrong, or people that feel, damn, this might be considered fucked up. There were very few people to come out and say, I don't like how you're portraying a certain group of people. But nowadays, everybody coming out the closet. So I guess I'll take that. I'll take it. If you have anything you want to say, please add it down below. Good Doc's officially out. Elise Nako, Pa'alam, which means we're going now. Bye-bye. As always, love you guys. Mahal kita. Mabuhay. Peace.